Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy BigDonSkillz bringing you another video, and today we are going to be talking about my opinion on Pokemon Sword and Shield so far. So I actually picked up Pokemon Shield, and I've been really enjoying the game so far. I'm about 5 badges in, and I've just been grinding pretty much, playing a lot of the wild area, just taking my time with it. I know a lot of people have already beaten it, but like I said, I like to take my stuff slowly. So we're going to jump straight into it. We're going to break this down into the story, the graphics, the gameplay, what I liked about the game, what I wasn't a fan of, and then a light touch on that controversy that everybody's just so eager to grasp. So right now with the story is pretty standard for Pokemon. It is the same thing as gotta catch them all. You want to be the very best like no one ever was. In this game, you're endorsed by the champion himself, whose name is Leon. You and his little brother are endorsed to pretty much go and challenge all the gym leaders and eventually beat him. Pretty standard stuff. Nothing that's going to be convincing people to buy the game. But Leon's little brother, Hop, can be particularly annoying where he wants to be better than you. Standard Pokemon rival stuff. This isn't going to be the main reason why you buy the game. So it's not something I really care for when I play. It's simple, it's to the point, and it's just there to provide context, really. Alright, and for the graphics has been a focal point of controversy for this game, but it's a pretty unique situation where there's actually a lot of parts of the game where it looks very beautiful, but then it can be counteracted by the textures. So you'll walk around a lot of times in the city where if you're indoors, you're maybe in the lab, or if you're in the Pokemon Center, everything looks colorful, looks vibrant, it looks really clean. When you're in the battles, it looks very clean as well. The character models look nice. But then when you're in a lot of cities that have, you know, stone, brick, dirt, grass, those textures are really dull and dry. It's a very weird inconsistency that is definitely noticeable when you play the game. And a lot of times too, when you're walking in and out of the distance, the Pokemon tend to kind of pop out at you. This isn't that bad though, but the main issue is just the graphical indifferences. Whenever you're in places like a forest or the mine, or as I mentioned earlier, anywhere indoors, you definitely see the graphical potential of the game, but often it isn't truly highlighted in the ways that you would really want it to. So graphics, like I said, a mix of beautiful and ugly at the same time. And as for the gameplay, it's pretty much the same thing. Same old stuff, just a different day. Now they introduced a concept called Gigantamaxing or Gigamaxing. I always mispronounce it like I do half the Pokemon names. But this is a feature where you could essentially power up your Pokemon for 3 turns. It becomes a tankier, beefier version of itself. Some Pokemon have like new forms of when they Gigantamax, like Gengar pretty much turns into one of those scary amusement park looking things. Different Pokemon have different forms. Meowth turns into a long cat. You may have seen this in the trailer. This is essentially an alternative to the Mega Evolutions from before. It's not anything exciting, but what's cool about it is that it introduces raid battles where you can team up with up to 3 other people and battle this giant Pokemon. So these Gigantamax forms are pretty powerful, so you actually have to put some strategy into it or you can get destroyed. So I like that. It adds a layer of difficulty to Pokemon, but at the same time, as I mentioned before, everything is pretty standard. If you've played any of the Pokemon games, you've played them all as far as combat's concerned. Alright, and as far as things that I like about this game, there's a bunch of small changes that I probably won't even be able to go over all of them in this video, but just for the sake of time, they've revamped the whole entire HM and TM system. You no longer have to use Fly, you no longer have to use Surf. Although those moves are in the game, you actually literally can click on your town map and you can fly anywhere. Essentially, you have a fast travel from almost anywhere, with the exception of like gyms and certain special areas. But that's a really nice revamp. There's just certain touches they've added to the game that you may not have necessarily thought you wanted them, but now that they're there, you're like, what? There's also ways to use rare candies, level up your Pokemon through those. You have your traditional rare candies, but you also have like XL, extra small, small. You have these different sorts of level up points where essentially you can think of it in the way that a lot of the free-to-play mobile games do it, to where you may have a currency or an item that you can use to kind of level up your characters faster. I think Galar as a region is very interesting. I know it goes for the UK look. I've never been to the UK, but I think it definitely represents what I've seen of it very well. A lot of castles, like I mentioned earlier, brick, a lot of coldness, which I will say a lot of the color designs are kind of cold over there, but just in game it still looks a little funny to me. And with the gym challenges, I think the gym challenges are short and sweet. I wish they could have been a little bit longer in certain cases, but I do think that they do what they accomplish what they want to accomplish. They get to the point, they're all unique in their own way, and the gym leaders, they bring some potency to the table. What I'm not a fan of this game so far is honestly not a lot of things I can really pick out. Mainly it's nitpicking stuff, but as I mentioned earlier, the inconsistency of the environments can be a little jarring, where you're trying to do something and you're trying to, just go from area to area. You may even see it while you're looking at this gameplay. It's just very dull and colorless in certain aspects. There's also a lot of frame drops. I didn't really go over the online features in this game other than the raid battles, but whenever you're in the new area that's called the wild area, there is a lot of frame drops as soon as you connect to the internet. It freezes a lot. There's a lot of hiccups because I think it's trying to connect to the server to like retrieve certain items you're getting. That is pretty frustrating, and the frame rate drops are very bad. It's not like minor 5 frame drops. Like you're probably dropping into like the 20s, of frame rate, and that can, like I said, be very, very jarring. Last thing I'm gonna go over, and I'm gonna just touch this lightly. Positive vibes only. I'm not talking about this very much anymore, but as far as controversy is concerned, I think everything you've heard was essentially wrong. Everybody was trash talking this game. Everyone was talking like they hated it, even though no one had ever played it. And now that everybody's playing it, oh my god, this game is fun, dude. I really like this game. It's a really good Pokemon game. So it's enjoyable. If you're on the fence of getting it, I think it's a great time to jump back into Pokemon. There's been a lot of controversy over the lack of all the Pokemon being in the game, but I actually started to enjoy that the more I played the game, where even though I may miss some of my favorites like Charizard or Scyther, well actually Charizard's in the game, but maybe all the generation starters, Scyther, some other fan favorites, I've actually learned to like other Pokemon a lot more that I've always wanted to use but never found them in my party. So that's all I gotta say. If you're thinking about getting this game, definitely cop it. Definitely let me know. Also want to hear what you all think about Pokemon. Positive vibes only though. If it ain't positive vibes, man, I ain't even gonna acknowledge your comment. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, I'll be streaming this on Twitch. If you're not following me on Twitch, go ahead and click it in the description section. Follow your boy on there, and we can talk more about it. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out.